in Arizona. This article is hilarious. The one that you sent me.
The one that I sent you from Politico?
Yeah.
The hit piece from Politico?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a hit piece. And apparently it's, a bad idea to be a sheriff that follows the Constitution.
Dude, they have some pretty freaking cool pictures of him in this, though. Like, like the one of him shooting his pistol and the brass is, like, just off to the side. It's just awesome. Anyway, sorry.
I love it.
I was fangirling for a second.
I love it. He looks everything a Western sheriff would look like.
He's Walker, Texas Ranger, but real.
But real.
And in Arizona.
So
there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be a hit piece, and it's just fails. Let's see. With an action figure style charisma and a growing media platform, Lamb sees it as his mission to educate the American public about the role of the sheriff, which he described to me as to protect people from, quote, the bad guys, and I always say the sheriff is also there to protect people from government overreach, end quote. Correct.
Yes.
As much as he glorifies law enforcement, though, Lamb is selective about which laws he chooses to enforce. Like the President of the United States? Maybe? I don't know. Something about the southern border or something. He takes a hard-line approach on immigration, for example. But when it comes to the government telling people to get vaccinated or declaring the 2020 election legitimate, he fashions himself as more of a vigilante resistor with a heavy dose of anti-government, sometimes militant rhetoric.
In the infamous words of Thomas Paine, tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered.
Lamb supported the Stop the Steal campaign in Arizona. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Has expressed sympathy for the January 6th rioters. That one is a false statement. I went to that article, and he didn't exactly express sympathy. He was explaining. There's a difference between explaining and excusing.
Unless it's mansplaining, which is probably what he did here.
Unless you're a constitutional sheriff that knows more than the person that's doing the interview. He has called vaccine mandates garbage.
Yeah.
That's very nice of him to say that. And spoke at a recent anti-vaccine rally in Phoenix. Was it an anti-vax rally or was it an anti-mandate rally?
Mandate.
Where he told supporters, we're going to find out what kind of patriots you are. We're going to find out who is willing to die for freedom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He also makes direct appeals to citizens and effort that looks more dangerous after former President Donald Trump riled up supporters on January 6th. False! Even the courts and the stupid weighted oversight committee thing found that, no, he did nothing. Oh. For example, Lamb, an ardent defender of the Second Amendment, has spoken in support of the formation of private militias. Well within the Constitution. Yep. He told a group of supporters in March, because if you go in history, you find out the militia was actually just the local guys at the bar or the church that got together and joined whatever military was running through town to fight for their side. And emphasized the power of sheriffs in Arizona, an open carry state. That's supposed to be a slam, I think.
Dude.
To call local civilians into service to, quote, suppress all affrays, insurrections, and riots. That comes to the attention of the sheriff. Last year, as Black Lives Matter protesters swept across the country, he formed a local civilian posse.
You're a deputy, and you're a deputy, and you're a deputy.
Well within the purview of the sheriff to just deputize anyone he wants. Uh-huh. To assist his office with law enforcement, even though there were no such protests in Pinal County. Okay. Sheriff of the county says, this isn't happening here. I will deputize the entire town if I have to make sure this doesn't happen here. Well, it didn't happen here. The sheriff said...
it didn't happen here because I said it wasn't going to happen here.
One way to avoid war with the country is to show that that country has zero chance to beat you.
I'm really surprised Politico didn't get sued over this because it is damn near slanderous, some of the stuff that they said in here.
And just flat out lies.
Oh, yeah. Like okay, one of my favorite ones here, So Lamb's advocacy follows the tradition of constitutional sheriffs, right? Later on in that paragraph, he says, former sheriffs Joe Arpaio and David Clark, along with an estimated 138 currently serving sheriffs, are self-declared adherents of the philosophy which evolved out of the white nationalist anti-Semitic movement known as Posse Comitatus, meaning power of the county. Like, where do you get off?
Where do you get off? Yeah, it's... the hate for Sheriff Arpaio is just mind-boggling.
Right?
He was inhumane. They were prisoners. Yeah, well, they don't deserve anything. They're prisoners. They broke society's laws. They deserve none of the benefits society has. So they will eat their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and if they want more than that, they will grow the food. And they'll wear pink jumpers. Yeah. He had the lowest, what's it called? Return rate on prisoners.
Yeah.
In the country. Because it turns out if you make prison not fun,
people don't want to go back.
People don't want to go back.
And they back to the top of that paragraph it's talking about constitutional sheriffs who for decades have propagated the idea, refuted by constitutional experts, that sheriffs are the supreme legal authority in America. So what you're trying to tell me...
The source for that is their own article. If you click on the link, it goes to Politico magazine.
Yeah. It's refuted by constitutional experts. We investigated the situation and found ourselves not guilty. The sheriff is the highest law officer in the county. Your county sheriff can tell the federal government, no, you can't cross into my county. That is true, because federal government, federal enforcement, federal Bureau of Investigation is an appointed position. You're hired to be an FBI agent. Sheriff is an elected official. The elected official always trumps appointed official. Period.
Especially when that elected official is the only elected law enforcement official in the county.
Yes. So being the only elected law enforcement official in his jurisdiction, he trumps all other law enforcement.
And by
period.
And by dictation, his deputies have more power
than an FBI
agent.
Yes.
Because the deputies are directly under the sheriff who is voted in, and the sheriff can fire and hire deputies however he chooses. Whereas the FBI, well, they're hired by the FBI manager, person above them, who's hired by someone above them, who's hired by the FBI director, who's picked by the president, who's appointed by the Senate. So there's a few steps of distance there from elected official.
Yeah. So,
article is trash.
It's so bad.
You don't even deserve to be called trash.
There's a word that I have specifically for this type of situation, and that word is...
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you?
Oh, it's...
Man, YouTube's way ahead on their filters.
Seriously, though, that was interesting.
They're blocking us live.
And we're live.